Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Universal Studios. We are less than 1 week away from the official opening night of Halloween Horror Nights. And guys, this is going to be our last and final update before opening night of this year's event. And in today's video, we're going to be taking you throughout the park, and I am going to be giving you my ultimate survival guide for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. We're going to be walking around the entire park today. We're going to be identifying the location of all the haunted houses, and I'm going to be giving you guys my greatest tips and tricks for going through Halloween Horror Nights without an express pass, so that way you guys can get everything done in one night. Let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's go ahead and head on inside the park and get this started. And you guys already know we are close to the start of Halloween Horror Nights when the banners go up. We have the medallion in the center showing Halloween Horror Nights Select Nights September 2nd through October 31st, and we have our 4 IP banners. We have Universal Monsters, The Legends Collide, Halloween, The Weekend, After Hours Nightmare, and The Horrors of Blumhouse. Before we walk into the park, however, I want to give you folks staying on an on-site resort hotel a little tip. For this tip, we're going to be making a left at the archway and we're going to be walking towards the Hard Rock Cafe. Now, in years past, at the former entrance to the Blue Man Group Theater, we would have our exclusive entrance to guests staying at on-site resort hotels right between these 2 big black signs. If we do have a repeat of last year, this is where you are going to be able to find your exclusive entrance to Halloween Horror Nights. So to start off this tips and tricks video, we are going to start making our way to the very back of the park. So over here are the turnstiles. This is where the opening ceremonies is going to take place. Once the gates are open, you are going to want to make your way to the very back of the park. And again, this is whether or not you are doing Stay and Scream. You're going to walk into the park this way and you are going to want to make a right as soon as you see the pumpkin over here. Now, I know you guys are going to be really tempted to keep going forward. You see the Halloween Horror Nights sign over there. You have a pumpkin over here. The first scare zone is going to be directly ahead of you. But I promise you guys, you are going to want to avoid this area at first, and you are going to want to make a right at the pumpkin over here and head on over towards the other scare zone that is here towards the front of the park. Let's go ahead and take one last look inside Nettlewood Cemetery for opening night this Friday. Upon first glance, it doesn't really look like anything significant has been added to this zone. We still have all of our mausoleum looking structures. We still have all of our trees. We have our boo holes over here. Doesn't look like anything has been added since our last visit. Actually, look at this. I don't recall this being here. This is a smoke machine that has been hidden by some shrubbery. So that's really nice to see. We're definitely going to be getting a lot of fog in this scare zone. Actually, oh, look at this over here. Something else that's new. I wonder, are we still expecting some more sets to be brought in here? Because we have these random stairs. These random stairs, and they're just not going to put stairs to nowhere. So, are we expecting another platform here? Huh. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and continue walking. We have our one platform over here with a foot trigger, some more boo holes, and oh my gosh, look, another set of stairs to nowhere. So I have no idea if we're expecting another platform. It's very weird because there's a planter here with like plants, so I don't know if they're going to put a platform right here, but very interesting to see. Let's go ahead and continue walking. Other than those random staircases to nowhere, it doesn't look like anything else was added to this zone, which is titled Graveyard Deadly Unrest. Let's go ahead and continue on down. Let's go ahead and move on into our next scare zone, which is going to be Scarecrow Cursed Soil. And guys, we have a lot of new updates from the last time we were here. Holy cow. Take a look at this windmill that's here. And it's a free-flowing windmill too. It changes direction with the wind. So that's really cool to see. The last time we were here, we saw this base and we had no idea what was going to be here. But yep, turns out we have a windmill. Let's go ahead and head on inside of the zone proper. Let me crank up this exposure so that way you guys can actually see what is going on. We have our barn structure finally taking shape less than a week before the event starts, and it is not done yet. We still have a long way to go on this barn structure, but it is looking really nice and very creepy. And as I predicted a couple weeks ago, we have our burlap that is showing up here inside the zone. And let's take a walk inside the barn. You can take a look at all the different details that we have going on these platforms over here, where we can expect to see some scare actors up top over here and down below. Wow. And you can see in the back of these boo holes, there's some more burlap. Wow. This is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for this zone. Taking a look at the back side of the structure, you can see that it is currently not complete yet. So hopefully within the next day or two, we will have the rest of the barn structure completely finished. Something else that's new, take a look at this Scarecrow. Oh my gosh. We have a couple of cans dangling from it, some utensils, some knives. That looks really creepy. We have another one over here as well. I know it's very difficult to see because of the lighting. It's very backlit. Try and come over here. You can kind of see it, but wow. Very creepy indeed. You guys can see a lot more fencing has been added. We have some hay bales over here and some more barrels. Next to our bungee boo hole over here, we have some more hay, some crates, and another barrel. This actually looks like it's covering something. I can see some red through here. Can you guys see that? It looks like this is covering something. So, might have something gruesome on top of this barrel. Some crates, barrels, some hay. We have a new tree over here. It's a dead looking tree, but it's a tree. Inside this other boo hole that we saw the last time we were here, we do have a speaker, and right around the corner over here, there is a foot trigger. So yep, definitely gonna be a scare actor hiding in here. And if we move on over just a couple more steps, take a look at these. Holy crap, we have some more scarecrows. And these are very creepy looking. Holy cow. Wow. That is very interesting. One with a gas mask over here as well. Holy moly. I love this one in particular with the 8 limbs. Or no, 6. I can do math. There's 6. We have another boo hole that has been uncovered, and it does appear that there is a foot trigger in there as well. We're gonna be getting plenty of scare actors in this zone hiding in these boo holes. And finally, we have made it to Springfield, where we are going to begin our Halloween Horror Nights journey. Now, if you guys are coming to Halloween Horror Nights, more than likely you guys are coming here with one goal in mind: to get scared. And to get scared, you gotta go through all 10 haunted houses. Now, over here in the Springfield area, this is where we normally see our first Stay and Scream location. Now, in case you guys don't know what Stay and Scream is, Stay and Scream are the different locations throughout the park where day guests who also have a ticket to Halloween Horror Nights get to hang out while the park is in the process of being transformed into Halloween Horror Nights. And typically, those guests that are being held in the Stay and Scream area get first dibs into select haunted houses 30 minutes before the park opens to Halloween Horror Nights guests. So those guests who are waiting at the front of the park for Halloween Horror Nights don't get in until 6:30, but you get access into select haunted houses at 6 o'clock. And in those 30 minutes, you can definitely do a lot of damage. Honestly, my biggest time-saving tip for you guys is to do Stay and Scream. If you are not a day ticket guest and you aren't spending the day prior to your Halloween Horror Nights visit at the park, I highly encourage you guys to purchase the Scream Early ticket. This ticket allows you to come inside Universal Studios at, I believe, 4 or 5 o'clock, which gives you more than enough time to make it into a Stay and Scream area and get a couple rides done in the process. Now, as of me making this video on the Sunday prior to opening night of Halloween Horror Nights, we still don't have a confirmation yet of what the Stay and Scream locations are going to be for this year. But if we're going based off of previous years, the Springfield area and the Finnegans locations are where you're going to want to be for Stay and Scream. Now, for the purposes of this video and for my greatest advice, I highly recommend you do Stay and Scream over here in the Springfield area. Let's go ahead and take a walk and I'll show you guys why. If you guys are using Springfield for your Stay and Scream location, you guys are going to be brought around here next to the Animal Actors Theater to your first 2 haunted houses. Your queue lines are going to be corralled all the way over here by the entrance to the E.T. Adventure attraction. Over here is where you are going to find the entrance to 2 of your haunted houses. Over here next to the Shrek meet and greet is where you are going to be finding the Weekend After Hours Nightmare. And over here next to E.T. Adventure is where you're going to find the entrance to the Universal Monsters Legends Collide haunted house. Now, me personally, I would go ahead and start my day at Universal Monsters Legends Collide. I go ahead and hit that haunted house first because I feel like that haunted house is going to have a much bigger draw than the Weekend After Hours Nightmare over here. Go ahead and get the Universal Monsters house done first, and then hop on next door and get done the Weekend After Hours Nightmare. Now, once you are done with those 2 houses, you're going to be creeping up on 6:30 when the park officially opens for Halloween Horror Nights. I would highly suggest using this as the time to make a left over here at Kids Zone Pizza and get your pizza fries. This is probably going to be the one time of the day where the line is shortest notice to get your pizza fries. Go ahead and get that done and out of the way now, and you can continue on your journey to the back of the park. For your next 2 haunted houses, you're gonna wanna make your way deeper into the park, going in a counterclockwise motion. You guys are gonna make your way back here, and you are going to walk right past the Simpsons ride and keep on going towards Men in Black. Over here at the very back of the park, next to Men in Black Alien Attack, you have the Men in Black gift shop, you have the restrooms, and over here you are going to find the entrances to your next 2 haunted houses. Over here on the right, you're gonna have Descendants of Destruction. Over here on the left, you are going to have Bugs Eaten Alive. I highly recommend that you guys make your way immediately back over here because, as I said earlier, by this time, it'll be around 6:30, 6:45, and these queues should still remain empty. I'm so sorry that the camera is fogging. By this time, you guys are gonna have a huge advantage against the park guests that are just now coming in at 6:30. So by the time you get over here, the queues should not be very long at all. You guys should be able to get these queues done within 30 to 45 minutes. So definitely get these 2 haunted houses done, and then you're going to be able to continue on with your visit. So by this time in your evening, you should be at or around 7:30 in the evening. So within the first hour of the event officially starting, you should have at least 4 haunted houses done. And now you have a couple of choices. You can either A, decide to hang out in the Men in Black area and catch the Halloween Nightmare Fuel show that is going to be located over here inside the Fear Factor Theater, or you can continue on your visit and you can make your way over towards the Diagon Alley area, make your way past that towards Fast and Furious Supercharged, and hit up your next haunted house. You can choose one of the 2. If shows aren't exactly your thing and they're not your priority, then you can go ahead and ignore Halloween Nightmare Fuel and keep on going. It should be worth noting that at the current time, we don't know what the show times are going to be for Halloween Nightmare Fuel, so as soon as we find those details out, I'll be sure to update you guys. Now, for any of you scaredy cats out there who might be attending Halloween Horror Nights and are looking for a safe zone, here is going to be your safe zone, Diagon Alley. You can head on in here. There are no scare actors. There's nothing scary going on over here. You can head on inside, take a ride on the Gringotts attraction, and escape the horrors for a little while before heading on back out. Let's go ahead and take one last look at the Conjure the Dark Scare Zone before opening night. And you guys can see we have a few more new details in this zone. This particular prop is making a return from last year's Gorewood Forest Scare Zone. This used to be located in the Central Park area of Universal Studios, and these branches used to be red. You can still see some remnants of the red over here in the paintwork over here, and you can see a little bit of it right here as well. All of these vines used to be red, so it's very interesting to see it make a return. And you can see a speaker and a foot pedal, so definitely a boo hole for a scare actor. Close by to the stage where the witches are going to be, we have a couple new additions. We have some rock work and bones, and even better, we have some hanging bodies. You can see a rope up top over here, so there is definitely a body that is hanging upside down over here, and we have some bones. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be nuts. And on the opposite side, we have something very similar. We have a rope, a body hanging from some runes, and bones down here. Wow. This is going to be awesome, guys. Making our way out of the Conjure the Dark Scare Zone, you can see we have a couple more boo holes. Some of these making a return appearance, as I said earlier, from the Gorewood Forest Scare Zone from last year. Yep, definitely another boo hole. We're going to have a foot pedal in here somewhere because we have a speaker right here. Actually, the foot pedal is right on top, right there. But yeah, wow. This looks awesome. This is going to be a great scare zone to see at night. And again, you can see some of the remnants of the old red paint that was used last year for this prop. After hanging out in this area for about 10 minutes or so, unfortunately, I do get the feeling that we are gonna have another choke point in this scare zone. I do like the fact that they moved the stage off to the side over here, but with some of these other props, you can see with these guests that are walking by right now, there's not too much room for back and forth traffic. So just be prepared for that. By the way, if you guys are here visiting for Halloween Horror Nights and you're looking for a place to eat that is air conditioned and you're not really into the different food booth offerings, I highly recommend coming over here to Richter's Burger Company. It's a nice air-conditioned building that's got plenty of space and some great burgers. All right, now we have made our way down to Fast and Furious Supercharged. Somewhere over here in this area is going to be the entrance to our 5th haunted house for Halloween Horror Nights 2022. And this house is going to be the Horrors of Blumhouse, featuring the Black Phone and Freaky. Like I said earlier, we don't know exactly where the entrance to the haunted house is going to be, but the actual haunted house is located in between these two buildings over here. So we expect that it's going to utilize a portion of the Fast and Furious Supercharged queue, and this is going to be, like I said, your 5th haunted house of the evening. After you're done with with those 4 haunted houses in the back corner of the park, you're gonna make your way down this way, and you should hit up this haunted house next. The wait time for this haunted house shouldn't be too long because the park opened up probably within 30 to 45 minutes ago by the time you make it over here if you are following our plan. So hopefully the line for this house isn't going to be crazy long and you should be able to get it done rather quickly. Now when you're done with the horrors of Blumhouse out by Fast and Furious Supercharged, you once again are faced with 2 choices. You can either continue on down towards Transformers and hit up the 2 scare zones that you pass on the way to your Springfield Stay and Scream location, being the Graveyard Deadly Unrest and Scarecrow Cursed Soil, or you can go ahead and make a right and head on down towards the Mummy into the Sweet Revenge scare zone and hit up the last 5 haunted houses that are going to be located at the front of the park. If it were me personally, I would go ahead and take the time to go ahead back towards Transformers and hit up those 2 scare zones that I passed while they were empty on my way to the Springfield area. Check those out as the night progresses and it gets a little bit darker. That way you can check out the scare zones as they were intended and then make our way back to the front of the park into the Sweet Revenge scare zone and check out those last 5 haunted houses that are located at the front of the park. So if you chose option A, here we have Fast and Furious Supercharged. You're gonna head on down this way, and right in front of you is gonna be Transformers The Ride 3D. You're gonna head on down this way, and you're gonna make a left and head up those 2 scare zones. If you chose option B, you're gonna go ahead and make a right over here by the Lou Wasserman statue and head on in to the Sweet Revenge scare zone. Over here at Louie's Restaurant is where you are going to find the Scare Actor dining experience for 2022. We already have our experience booked for this coming weekend, so if you guys are curious as to what the Scare Actor dining experience includes and what it entails, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because that video will be coming your way very, very soon. Another helpful tip that I have for you guys, over here what we're looking at is the Sweet Revenge scare zone. Over here on the right, on the outside of the Palace Arcade over here, you are going to have a set of restrooms and some tables and a nice big open area that really doesn't have anything going on. This is a great area to hang out in and to try and get away from some of the horrors of Halloween Horror Nights, or if you just wanted to take a little break in general. However, just be aware that this is where scare actors come out of their break rooms and they come on down this way and head back into the scare zone. So if you're not wanting to be interacted with by any of the scare actors, I wouldn't recommend sitting over here. I would definitely recommend sitting back in this corner or in this corner over here by the restrooms. The scare actors shouldn't, in theory, shouldn't be bothering you over here in this area. You know, at first glance, it doesn't look like anything new is going on over here inside the Sweet Revenge scare zone. I don't see any additional props or lighting being put up. However, what is new is this over here, the Meats Locker. Finally, we have our signage up and we have our food menu out. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So over here we have fried zombie brains, spicy fried chicken offals, spoiled angry bear meat, sour beating gummy heart, and fresh ground princess. So I definitely think that this is going to be considered as a mini scare zone, because just take a look at this, guys. The overall ambiance in here is just absolutely insane. Look at the theming that we have. We have hanging meats over here around the food booth. We did have a lot more, but people kept messing with the meat and they were swinging it and manhandling it, and they were just not being respectful to the props. Like, it's okay if you want to touch the props, like touch lightly, but manhandling it and swinging them around, so we had a lot more gruesome stuff hanging over here. That has since been taken down. Hopefully it makes a return a little bit later. We have our fryers over here in our display cases right here. This is where we're going to be seeing the sour gummy beating hearts. I recognize this from the tribute store. So they're gonna lay the hearts out over here and they're gonna be beating, and it's gonna be really cool to see. So now here's something that I find very interesting, are these over here. On either side, we have curtains, like little plastic curtains. And to me, it looks like there could be a scare actor hiding in these curtains. However, this box in the way kind of makes me feel like there isn't, unless they're gonna be moving these boxes, because these look like boo holes. These look like proper boo holes. Like, look at that. It looks like there's a place for people to go. So I don't know if these boxes are gonna move to allow for a scare actor or not. We also have our drink stand over here as well. Meats Drinks. We can get Bloody Marys and canned beverages and some sodas. On the opposite end of this meats food scare zone area, there is a thing here that says do not enter, so I do anticipate that this is intended to be a one-way only zone slash food location. However, you guys already know people. They're gonna look at this and they're gonna say that doesn't apply to me, and they're gonna be walking on through either way. So I don't know exactly how the crowd flow is going to be in this area, but we'll have to wait and see for opening weekend. One other thing that I completely forgot to mention is that the area that I'm standing in right now is going to be your second Stay and Scream location. This is the Finnegans Stay and Scream location. Now, all of this again is assuming that we have the same Stay and Scream locations as years past. So you can see the Finnegans restaurant is right over here. The entrance proper to this Stay and Scream is going to be located right back here by the Lou Wasserman statue. They're going to have a bunch of team members there who are going to be scanning your passes, and you are going to have practically this entire scare area to yourself in order to hang out, waiting for that 6 o'clock time to be released into the other two haunted houses. Now, if this Stay and Scream location is utilized this year, we do not exactly know what haunted houses are going to be offered for this Stay and Scream location, but typically this area over here is going to be open, and you're going to be able to line up for some haunted houses over there right around the corner. If you guys are wanting to utilize the Finnegans Stay and Scream area and you are wanting to dine at Finnegans, I do recommend getting here as early as possible and getting inside, so that way you have a nice cool place to hang out and grab a bite or a drink before the event officially starts. Now, unfortunately, once again, we have no new updates regarding the grand reopening of Revenge of the Mummy. We had team member previews end about 2 weeks ago, going on 2 weeks ago, and we still have had no new updates as far as a grand opening for the general public. We are thinking that it is going to open on opening night. Again, those are all rumors. We have no idea for sure, but I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. One good thing about the Finnegans Scare Zone is that this street over here should in theory be open for the Stay and Scream area, because last year this street was open. And if you guys remember our opening night video from last year, we were right up against the Transformers show building and we were caught in the rain, and this area was open and serving food and drink that's exclusive to Halloween Horror Nights guests. So just another option for you guys. However, of course, for the purposes of this video, I do not recommend you guys starting your night off in the Finnegans Stay and Scream location. I'm just giving you guys the information on what else is available. Can we also take a second to talk about how much room for activities there is right now? We are here on a Sunday evening and it is practically empty. There is not a lot of people here at all. And the park closes at 9, mind you. Just for reference, the current time is 7 o'clock in the evening. Doesn't look like we have anything else going on as far as the props in the major suite scare zone are concerned. I'm not seeing anything new compared to the last time we were here. But for opening night, we can definitely anticipate a lot of massive props being rolled out in the transitional phase between daytime and nighttime operations for Halloween Horror Nights. So over here, right next to the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store for 2022, we are going to see the entrance to our next two haunted houses. And over here, we are anticipating seeing Fiesta de Chupacabras on one side and Dead Man's Pier on the other side over here. Two haunted houses that you guys have the option of hitting up. Now, over here at the front end of the park, you're gonna have 5 haunted houses that are gonna be in very close proximity to each other. At this point in the night, I highly recommend you download the Universal Studios Orlando app and check those haunted house wait times, because from here on out, it's going to be completely at your discretion as to what haunted house you're going to want to hit up next based off of which house has the lowest wait time. Moving on down a little bit further, at the Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon attraction entrance, we anticipate seeing the entrance to the Halloween haunted house. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are making our way back closer and closer to the front of the park. And over here in the Music Plaza right next to Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, right in this area over here, we should expect to see the entrance to our second to last haunted house, which is going to be Hellgate Prison. This is another original property haunted house, and again, we can expect the entrance to be located right here. And if you guys are going to be experiencing this haunted house, be prepared to walk through all of these switchbacks that we have over here. Good Lord. That is a lot of switchbacks, and it is not uncommon to see this area completely crowded with wall-to-wall people, so just be prepared for that. Now, if everything is going according to plan and you guys are following along in this video and you're hitting up the haunted houses in a counterclockwise motion, the very last scare zone you should be hitting is the Horrors of Halloween. This is the backside of the scare zone, and no major updates to this zone from the last time we were filming over here. The only difference is a lot of the props have been moved from this location and have been spread out. We don't have the Scarecrow prop over here. Rather, it is located in the center of the scare zone over here. We can see a lot more of the camouflage netting has been put up as well. And this scare zone looks really nice. I cannot wait to see it in action in the middle of the event. Holy cow. And you can see our graveyard prop has been moved over here to this farther out location rather than right next to these wooden fences over here. And our Conjure the Dark Scare Zone prop has made its way over here in front of the Betty Boop store. And now, if all of the leaks and rumors are correct, we can expect to see our last and final haunted house that you're going to be hitting up in the evening, located right over here between the Universal Studios store and Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Right over here in this alleyway is where we can expect to find the Spirits of the Coven haunted house. Now, the reason why I highly recommend waiting until the very end of the night to do this haunted house is because it is the one that is located at the very front of the park. You can see the archways right there. Those are the turnstiles. This is going to be the first haunted house that everyone sees, and most people are going to run to this haunted house first because it is the very first one that you see as you enter the park. So definitely wait until the end of the night to do this haunted house for the possibility of having a much lower wait. Before we do make our way out of the park, one last helpful tip that I have for you guys. If you guys really are wanting to make the most out of your evening here at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, I highly recommend staying until the very end of the evening. Every single night of the event, Halloween Horror Nights closes at 2 a.m. in the morning, which means you have a lot of time to get the haunted houses done. If you guys follow my plan that I gave you guys today, then you should, in theory, should have more than enough time to get every single haunted house done. Now, the biggest thing that is going to help you is if you stay for the very end of the night, the last hour and a half of the event, around 1 a.m. or so, the lines for the haunted houses should die down significantly. So if there are any last haunted houses that you haven't gotten done, use that last hour to go through those last few haunted houses, as the lines are more than likely going to be very, very low, about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes tops. My friends and family have always had great success in that last hour of the event. If you guys do have the time and you do want to make sure that you get every single haunted house done in one night, make sure you guys stay here until the very end of the night, if at all possible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it from us here at Universal Studios, taking our last and final look at the park and the scare zones, getting our last and final construction updates for the 2022 season before Halloween Horror Nights officially starts this Friday. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. And thank you all so much for sticking around and watching all of the content that we had put out leading up until opening night of the 2022 season. The next time we're here at Universal Studios, guys, it's going to be opening night of Halloween Horror Nights, and I absolutely cannot wait for it. It is going to be an absolute banger of the year. Just based off of the scare zones that we have and the original property haunted houses, it's going to be a great year, and I cannot wait for it. One last thing that I want to mention is that this plan that I gave you guys should also work if you are not doing Stay and Scream. I know that this was a very Stay and Scream heavy focused video. However, if you guys are here at 6:30 and you are walking into the park right as the event starts, still, I highly recommend making your way to the very back of the park and following the same plan that I gave you for if you're staying in a Stay and Scream location in Springfield. But anyways, guys, enough of that. Thank you all so much once again for watching today's video. If you enjoyed any bit of it, and if this video gives you any helpful tips and tricks, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, as it greatly helps us out, and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you share the video with a friend, as it greatly helps out the channel and helps us grow and helps us help a lot more people out there. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys in the fog.